So I'm out here this morning to run the Killa Hilla trail. It's a little cooler this morning, about 75 degrees right now. Don't know what it'll be like an hour from now. This is just the walk up to the starting line. You can see view from the bluffs up here, looking out over the oil fields of Bakersfield. You can see the gully up ahead, where eventually I'll be running down. Comes all the way down through the gully, and as you can see, comes out on the lower bike path for just a little bit before it starts up the hill again. Turning off the bike path onto the dirt. Most of this from here on will be dirt, except for a short section of bike path at the bottom and a little longer section at the end of the hill down to the Hilla Avenue turnaround. A lot of people out getting their exercise this morning. And here is what I like to call Mrs. Frog's Canyon going down. Coming down to the bottom of this little canyon. This was downhill the whole way. No real level spots, or for that matter, no uphills. Working my way through these rocks, and as you can see, here's the bike path, the lower bike path that you could see from up on top earlier. Just a real short jaunt down here until it starts back up the dirt trail. Here's where I'm going to turn up for the first major climb of the day, up to the top of Log Pile Hill. You can probably see that pile of logs up there right next to that transmission tower. Pretty good climb. Off I go. Just as an experiment, I'm going to try picking up the pace up this hill a little bit, just to see how it feels. Okay, calves are starting to burn. Breathing's getting a little heavier. It's definitely challenging. But I'll finish it out to the log pile, I think. Or I may have to stop and walk before I get there. I don't know yet. Okay, walk. That's just tough. This is a steep hill. Now walk to the top, then head back down the other side. There's a log pile. I guess that was just built for hill retention, I suppose. Although I've never seen it done that way before. But nothing else. It's a landmark for those that want to do Killa Hilla. Alright, cross the flat and down the other side. Only to start up again. Hill's not quite as long, and then it drops down into a real narrow canyon. Little pause here at the top of this hill, just to show you. You can see it's a long downhill, back down to that wide area down there. One version of Killa Hilla is to make a right down there at the bottom and go up that long hill that you can see cutting across the face of the hill there. It goes right back up to the bike path, but then you got to run a good 1.5 miles down the bike path to the finish. The other option, which I'll do today, is to go left there at the dirt area and follow the dirt path along the canal to a series of switchbacks. And I'll show you what that's all about when I get there. Pausing for a moment, I don't know if you can see up at the top of that farthest hill a couple of people walking along there. That's the bike path. That gives you an idea of how much of a climb I'll have to do at the end of this to get up to that bike path. The switchbacks, steep, narrow, single track. Okay, down on the footpath along the canal. This is just a nice, flat, easy jog, or whatever you want to make it. Switchback's coming up soon. And we're to the switchbacks. I don't know how much you can see, but if you look along the side of the hill there, you can see little places where the trail cuts across, then switches back and goes it the other way. You can see that fence up on top, that's the bike path. That's where these head to. So, just right down here a bit, there's a entrance into the bottom of the switchbacks. And it started up here shortly. I could go up this way, but the official way and the way I prefer is in through here. As you can see, it immediately starts up, and from this point on to the bike path, there really is no such thing as level or down. It's just up very steeply. I'll give you another shot farther up. Need to get into the groove here. Almost to the top of the switchbacks. This is looking back down. You can kind of see how they wind back and forth. So, getting ready to start this last little climb up to the bike path, and then a little bike lane jog to the turnaround, and then repeat the opposite direction. Gotta admit, I'm getting tired. This is only the first half. I'm on the bike path right now, headed down to the turnaround. Of course, I could just wimp out and walk back on the bike path a couple miles, but I don't know. We'll see how I feel. And here's the turnaround. This is right at the intersection of Panorama Drive and Haley Street. It's known as the Panorama Bluffs area because the bike path is right along the bluffs, which overlooks Kern County oil fields, the river, the canal. Very popular place for people to come and walk, run, stroll with their kids, walk their dogs. It's just a real nice feature for Bakersfield. We don't have that many. So, decided to suck it up and take the trail back. That way I can show you a little bit what it looks like from the other side. At least today I got lots of water, and the nice thing is temperature's not too bad. These switchbacks, especially going downhill, can be really treacherous. I always take them pretty slow, even though, as you know, I usually like to run fast downhill, but not on these. It's just too treacherous. Temperature's good today. It's probably not even 80 yet. And it's morning. Here's another one. As you can see, they come up pretty quick. And there's places where it's pretty.
Time 45 minutes. Distance 2.47 miles. Average pace 18 minutes 11 seconds per mile.
I don't know if you heard that or not. That was my, if you did, that was my Runkeeper app on my iPhone, telling me how far I've gone, how fast I'm not, as I work my way down these wonderful little switchbacks. See, places like this right here, be real easy to take a tumble, especially for a klutz like me. So I'm going to turn this off till I get down to the bottom. Still going down. Getting close. Just still really being careful where my feet go. It's not just the rocks, but it's really loose dirt too in a lot of places where your feet can just slip. And I wouldn't want to slip off the side of one of these little trails here. Quite a ways to the bottom. And yet one more. And almost to the end. Okay, all the way back down to the little trail across by the canal. Taking a little break here. Well, I'm walking right now. My left knee is starting to give me some problems. I may be able to walk it off, I don't know. If not, I'll just have to walk this whole thing back. But either way, I'm having a heck of a day out here. Great workout. So we'll just have to see how it goes. Still walking. You can see in the back there the climb up to the top of Tower Hill. Same one I came down earlier. A little more challenging going up, of course. Then I'll have to go down Log Pile Hill, but the finish going up Mrs. Frog's Canyon. So that's always interesting. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. Well, I was able to start running again, at least for a bit. Knees kind of calming down a little bit. So I don't know if I'll ever run the whole thing back, but just starting to work my way up Tower Hill. You can see the first transmission tower in the background. That's the top of the hill. So up and up I go. At this point I lost the video. I was having issues with batteries and such, so I went ahead and finished the run back to the starting line. Finished the 4.7 miles, although I didn't go up Mrs. Frog's Canyon at the end. I ended up taking another trail that cut back to the left up to the bike path, so the distance came out about the same. But I climbed a little bit different hill than normal. All in all, pretty good day. A little frustrated with the battery issues and such, but got a great workout. You just gotta love this trail.